Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Cap at Home Chill with our new summer hours. We're super excited. This is our first week for the new summer hours, and we are super pumped because General Motors are still our sponsors and are able to provide for us to give to you free art tutorials all summer long. So I'm really excited, and I'll be with you every Wednesday. So let's just jump right into our awesome project today. So what we're going to be making is right here, this awesome yarn, like circle yarn weaving. We just need like a few simple things. Sorry, give me a second. Let me bring it closer. Bring it down just a little so we can see a bit better for us. Perfect. I think we got it there, maybe. Perfect. So you can see I made this small little, pretty much a little hand-sized weaving for us today. So let's see what we need to start making this sweet project. Okay, so we have some cardboard. I have two pieces here, but I only need the one, so I'm going to take one away. And then I have this bowl, so I can use as tracing, a pencil, a ruler, scissors, some yarn, tape. And I do have a variety of beads. These are optional, I think. You don't need to add beads. I definitely had these like different things too. And I only have a few colors of string, but we can make do with anything really. So if you have any string, thread, yarn, thick, thin, it just all depends on how that's going to go really. So let's just jump right in. So I want to cut out my cardboard, and it can be really any size, but you see here. I'm just going to trace it by holding it down with some pressure, my bowl, and getting very, very close to the bowl. So I'll put that to the side. So you can see, and it's quite larger than the one I was making before, just because I want to give some variety. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim with some scissors, and if you have an adult that can help you, perfect. I'm just going to keep trimming, keep trimming, keep trimming. And I'm moving a little quick, just for the sake of time for the video. But with cardboard, it's nice probably just to cut in pieces, just because it's so thick and hard to work with sometimes. And you see it's kind of not becoming perfect. Perfect circle, but that's totally fine. But yeah, I just go ahead and trim that. So it's pretty good. I have a garbage right next to me, so I'm gonna just pass it on into there. So now what we want to do is we want to create, all of our kind of like little lines and our spokes that we're going to be making. And you can make as many or as little as you want for the weaving, but here it might be nice to kind of find maybe the middle of, I think it's just a little, like maybe less than 4 there. Like just like the middle of our circle. So what I'm gonna do is just draw a line. So just kind of moving a line, like kind of cutting it into some pie pieces, really. And maybe like I didn't put it in the middle enough, so I can just, kind of eyeball and see. Maybe it's not super straight, but it's all right. Because these are just gonna be like helpful little guidelines for us. But you see I'm working on top of like, like a cutting mat, or if you're working on top of something, that would be like really, really great. So I'm just gonna stay and leave it at that so you can kind of see the marks I made. So next we wanna take our scissors. I'm just gonna make a little cut. I'm not gonna cut all the way through. I'm just making a little, maybe like 3/4 of an inch to like an inch down. It could be even shorter than that. Because this is gonna be helping us with our weaving. So I just went around and made little slits and everything. So next I want to pick some yarn. So what I'm going to do is I have this cool yellow one, or I have some white, or like a pink, or the black, or some purple. It's up to you if you want to kind of create a certain theme or anything to your weaving, to your circle weaving. That's up to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip it over. I'm going to take my tape, and I'm going to I'm going to just tape this down. I mean, you can use glue, it will just take longer. Tape it down to reinforce that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start wrapping it around into the cuts that we've made, just going around and shifting. So you see, I'm kind of creating something cool. This is what we're going to be weaving onto. And I'm going to flip it over and tape it off one more time. There we go. Just going to take my scissors and snip. Voila. So I kind of think I'm going to use just like the yellow one to start off with, and maybe switch up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just take one of the strings here, and it's nice because it's quite a bit of tension, and I'm just going to, you can even tie it around the whole thing maybe, like all of them to make it right in the middle. Maybe I'll do that. I'm going to just tie one knot here. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start weaving. So I'm going to maybe cut some of this string off. So I have a nice like piece of yarn. What I'm going to do is just going to go over and under each one. So I'm going to go under that one, over this, under this one. So it's nice, and I'm putting pressure on this just to give some stability. So my yarn's not kind of being pulled like all over the place. So sometimes this might work like really well with some chunky yarn. You know, just for you to kind of play around with like different textures and different like thicknesses, because you know this could take quite a bit of some time. So I'm just going to keep moving just for the sake of time. But you know, usually you can take your time, really, maybe if you're like watching something, or maybe take it outside to enjoy some sun. You know, that's something that is you know, you can do, and this is like really cool to do like whenever that you're like available to do so. So yeah, so I'm just kind of going over and under, and I'm just going in the circle, following this line, so you can start to see the what's like happening in the middle there. It's just kind of like, you know, starting to come together. But I kind of forgot that one, you know. And if you want to like double up your yarn, you know, that's like totally fine and fun to do. But now if you have any like beads or anything, you can start, you know, I have like this one is like really pretty. That would look nice. I like that. Kind of making it like a sunsetty, you know, or if I wanted to do like something nice, like I just want to make sure that whatever kind of beads you have, they're like starting to, they have like a big enough hole for the yarn to kind of fall through. So maybe I'll just shove this one in there. Make sure, yeah, like that looks really cool. So you can do it right as you're weaving. So, you know, and I could do it like, so maybe it ties across like the middle. I kind of like how that maybe is. So I'm just adding that maybe, and I'll finish off here with the yellow and just by tying it off here. So I'm gonna just take it and tie across and tie a knot over here with my yellow yarn. So I'm just tying my knot. So I'm reinforcing everything that I'm doing with either the tape or a knot. So there we are. That looks pretty cool so far. It's building really nicely there. But yeah, so this one's going to take a long time, so I'm just going to put this right off to the side, and I'm going to take up this one. So this is the one I've been working on. I've kind of, this one's a little smaller than this, but you see, and here I have my string kind of doubled up. So it's nice because it's kind of creating like a thicker texture. Like you see, I have some orange in the middle there. So I'm just, you know, can continue this on, or I can just like finish off by tying a knot. I'm going to tie a knot here on this last one. I'm just going to, oops, pull this, getting confused. So I'm going to just do that by tying it off. And it's okay if it's a little thick. I don't mind leaving some strings off either. So we have that, and I tie that off, and now we can start a new color. I'll show you how we can just kind of transition. I'm gonna just tie a knot on the same one that I ended on here. Just tying one simple knot. Tie it off. Oops, kind of pull off a little. You can push it down if you do that. It's okay. And what I'm going to do is just going to start going ahead right away. So under, and then over under, right? So you can see how cool that's starting to look, kind of that transition of color. So you see too, working with such a smaller piece, it might be a little difficult too to maneuver, like these strings to kind of go under. So that's why it's nice to take your time really with it. So I'm just kind of slowly going. So this is fun. It's kind of like almost like a dream catcher. You can make these as gifts or as like wall hangings. You can make like a bunch of different kinds. You know, I think it's going to be super fun. There's like a lot that you can do with these things. And obviously if you have like different yarn, it definitely is going to kind of create like some fun designs and colors to do that, you know. But yeah, so you can keep going with that, and I hope you followed along with me today. You know, it's like really fun. I started off like, you know, this project here, and like, because you can see that it takes quite a bit of time. But if you have any scrap yarns, you know, you can save them to add them to later things. And I'm really pumped about this one. I really kind of liked how I kind of ended with like folding the black, you know, just like into the spokes like this. You know, they were so close to the other ones that I kind of like had a fun like geometric pattern be kind of made, you know. And you can kind of just like finish it off like that if you really want to, just like I did. And because I think it's like really nice, kind of fun, and you can just leave it kind of intact to the cardboard. You know, it's like a nice little display piece. So you see, that's just how I did that, just ending there. You can make it like a nice little line. I think that might be nice, but I'm gonna wait because I'm not finished, and I'll do it. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. You know, you can follow all of our art tutorials, you know, down in the description below, like on our YouTube, Instagram, and our Facebook. We have like our entire archive. So I hope you really enjoyed this. You know, send us a comment, or, you know, send us if you worked on it. We would love to see, and stay tuned for all summer. We're super pumped to hang out with you guys. Thanks.